She almost 8 foot because their post is 8 foot. But she got her a new ponytail up here. The girl has a new ponytail. Y'all see them onions down now? Y'all see them onions down now? The quail. Now y'all about what? 4 weeks old? The corn back here. Now the corn, they've been getting shorter and shorter every year. I don't know what's happening with the girl. Garbanzo beans, chickpeas, whatever you want to call them. This is our sunflower. Now remember I told y'all about trap crops. Our sunflower, this is a leaf-footed, but as you can see how the legs are. Say hey, Delvin.
What's going on, y'all?
He's so focused on all these down here. What's up, everybody? It's me, Mike, out here at the Urban Suburban Homestead, and today I'm gonna take you on a garden tour and show y'all what we got growing on out here at our Urban Suburban Homestead. As y'all can see, I got the camera phone back, okay? Because while Miss GoPro, she kept on, you know what I'm saying, overheating on us, and we ain't got no time for that. And went on ahead and cleared out that memory. And yes, the reason why I want to go ahead and do this garden tour because I want to give everybody some inspiration to show y'all what y'all can be doing in some nice get off containers, whether that's, you know, some 5-gallon buckets, whether that's some just regular pots, say some grow bags, some raised garden beds, all of that jazz. We have tried it all out here, totes, everything. And the reason why we did that is because we have an HOA and they will not allow us to really do some in-ground planting. So it'll give all of you all some inspiration, whether you got a, you know, apartment patio or something like that, you know, or just like a little townhome or something. You all can be growing you some stuff out here at your garden, okay? So don't ever be discouraged. Don't ever think, oh no, I can't be doing that. You know, you can just go ahead and get you some little 6-gallon totes. $6 totes, not 6-gallon, $6 totes over at Walmart, and go ahead and start planting you some lettuce and some tomatoes in there, some bell peppers, some things like that that you're gonna be eating, that you're gonna need for this good old survival that we're gonna be experiencing coming up, okay? Because we're gonna be in survival mode. Okay, so I want you all to go ahead and get up into it. I'm gonna show y'all these cherries, okay? The girls done came in full effect. Yes, Miss Barbados Sherry. Yes, look at the girl. She's in abundance, okay? In abundance. The house of abundance. All right. So here we go down here. We got a grapefruit growing in the back there. As you can see, it's one little grapefruit. But it's a little 20-gallon ruby red that we got from Home Depot, okay? So here we go over here with our volunteer cherry tomatoes blending in with the cherries, okay? Just cherry this, cherry that over here. So these are our volunteer cherry tomatoes that's growing alongside with our orange tree right here. And as you can see, yeah. Well, this is our tangerines right next to it, but the oranges, they somewhere on now, child. I don't know where they at, but yeah, our tangerine tree right here, she's definitely got a lot of tangerines on here. So this year should be really fruitful. It should be really fruitful. Okay, and of course down here you gotta have those pollinators. Man, we got this on discount. And it don't even look like it, just need a little TLC, okay? Over here, we got Miss RB Queen olive tree here. And we got a bunch of weeds down here. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, all right. While we out here, we're going to do some garden maintenance. All right. So, here we go. We got our discounted double knockout roses here. They don't even look discounted. All this stuff was discounted, okay? At Miss Lou's. So like I said, check those discounted rats because why? You can get you a lot. This is our guava tree here. And as you can see, we got us a dragonfly at the top there. And the reason why you want you some good dragonflies in your garden because they will take down some of the mosquitoes, okay? So it's a good thing when you see dragonflies in your garden. All you need is some perches for them to perch up on and they will take down the mosquitoes. So here we go. So that's that right there. Also, our navel orange down here. Now, she never did really get a chance to take off because we had our tomato plant that's colossal over here that was taking over and leaning over everything. And as you can see, she's still going. Now, this has been the host plant right here of our tomato hornworms, okay? Tomato hornworms. And so I've been on here basically getting these jokers off here. Like I said, if you start seeing holes in your plants and stuff like that or whatever, you got you some tomato hornworms out here. You need to start doing some inspections daily. So I think I've killed most of them, but as you can see, they will add disease to your plant a little bit. And the reason why I haven't taken this down is because she's still producing. So we're gonna let her go ahead and push through. I'm gonna try to edit and clean her up a little bit, and you know what I'm saying, we're gonna go from there. But yeah, So here we go right here. Let's go over here to Miss Tommy Atkins. Yes. Now, as you can see, now she done got tall, okay? She almost 8 foot, because their post is 8 foot. But she got her a new ponytail up here. The girl has a new ponytail. She went and, you know what I'm saying, said, you know, I'm gonna let my hair hang low, okay? So yes, as you can see though, we got us a mango there, ow. And we got us another mango down here. So I am so excited about Miss Tommy Atkins. And then over here we got our lemon. So we got plenty of lemons down here. Also, our other voluntary tomato plant. And as you can see, it's got a lot of blooms. We're gonna get to harvesting that stuff in another video today. And here goes some of our limes over here. All right. Now, Miss Avocado, Miss Leona is kind of getting overtaken a little bit, as you can see, but she didn't get any kind of avocado blooms. So somebody was saying that it may come back in May, but we'll have to see what's happening, okay? Down here we have our mullein, okay, good for the respiratory. Also, we have our spearmint and we have our mint down here. So that's spearmint there, and that's mint down here. All right. And before we even get away from things, okay, let's go ahead and see some voluntary things over here in the corner, over here by Miss RainPoint. Let's go ahead and get you a RainPoint, that two-way Wi-Fi timer with a hub, okay? And you know what I'm saying, you'll be all set, have your garden full blooming and thriving out here. But as you can see, we got some voluntary sunflowers over here. So we said we're gonna let the girls grow, because why? These are really good for harvesting like your different type of pests and stuff and all that. And so it's kind of like a trap crop, and I'm gonna show you all what I mean in a second when we get over here in the middle of the garden. So yeah, don't be afraid to plant you a couple, you know what I'm saying, sunflowers, you know what I'm saying, or let them, you know, do some little self-seeding somewhere, because why? They will provide a nice little, you know, flower for you, but also they provide a nice little trap crop for the leaf-footed bugs, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all the salsa bed, okay? Here we go, yeah. Look at Miss Salsa, honey. Yes, y'all see them onions down now? Y'all see them onions down now? And that's our Cajun bell pepper there. Also some of our cilantro. Now, we've been chopping this girl down, but as you can see, it's so hot out here. She trying to bolt on us, okay? And then we got Ace 55 back here, tomato plant. Already got some tomatoes coming in, as you can see. And then the tomatillos, they have just, oh my God, they got blooms galore. And you need 2 tomatillo plants so they can be able to cross-pollinate. We haven't been able to see any that has formed actual, you know, tomatillos, but it's a lot of blooms on both of them. And as you can see, they have these big old stalks and everything. But I'm gonna show y'all them onions, okay? Look at them onions over there. So yes, them onions is pushing through. The onions is pushing through, okay? Here we go over here with our, you know what I'm saying, our squash bed, little tomato bed, little radish bed, little green bean bed, okay? So here we go right here. I'm show y'all what's happening. What's happening? What's up? So our squash back here, they finally Okay, we got us a girl on here. We got us a girl on there finally. Alright. And then our voluntary tomato plant is finally turning red. And then as you can see, we got beans galore. And we're gonna pick these jokers today. Listen, baby. Listen. This one thing you need in a recession / Great Depression, you need you some beans, okay? You need you some beans in a recession / Great Depression, okay? You need you some beans, okay? So that's the reason why we got beans pretty much planted everywhere in the garden. And so I'm really excited about that. Like I said, we're gonna pluck some of those in the next video whenever Delvin able to get out here, you know what I'm saying, and help me with the harvest, okay? And so yes, yeah, we're gonna keep on going with this here garden tour. So yeah, here we go. We got some more squash plants. Now I need to kind of prune and trim these jokers back and stake these jokers up, but they haven't started producing any squash yet. So if somebody could give a little bit of tips, a little hint, you know what I'm saying, we have definitely struggled with the squash over the years. But as you can see, this here bed is doing swell, and also our salsa bed right over here. And as you can see, we got the irrigation going through everywhere. Here's our nasturtium. Oh wow, she's still going from 2 years ago. She ain't never died off, you know. So here we go. Here's our little salad bed, okay? Now she's starting to bolt because it's getting hot out here, you know, but like I said, we can plant some more. So we're gonna figure out what we're gonna plant back there in another video. Still trying to work that out. But yeah, like I said, we trying to do the things that we're trying to save a few dollars, and I want you all to go ahead and get y'all garden on, okay? You know what I'm saying? So here we go. I'm gonna show y'all something else, some voluntary plants. Now we got some voluntary marigolds. Now that's just a testament that we need to cut our grass, but I'm just showing y'all how things could just get real out of hand out here. Also, I'm gonna show y'all another thing. We planted this. We pretty much just took a piece of time and stuck it in the dirt, and here we go 2 years later. This joker done turned into something. It was like a little stick, and it's done turned into this whole bush over here. So yeah, that's what's happening over here by the house, okay? And let's go ahead and get back into the main swing of the things. You know what? No, let's go ahead and go over here. It's so much out here, child. Okay, now our green stalk, now it got hot out here. We didn't have the irrigation set all the way up, but yeah, things are starting to come in. A lot of the beans did not sprout or anything like that, and so that's a little disheartening, but we got plenty of beans all over the garden, so I ain't even worried about that right now. So here we go. This one did, and so as you can see, it got beans on it already. These are ready to be harvested, the seeds of these, excuse me, garlic chives. And then here we go. We got us some Merlin growing over here, cucumbers. And they growing up quite nicely over here on the green stalk. So that's what I'm saying. You all can have you some stuff on here too. We got to replant a lot of things. Like I said, it got hot out here. The strawberries is doing pretty good too. Up here as well. We even had some strawberries that we kind of put in there, and they are growing from seed, from the strawberry, the dead strawberries. So we just been sitting them in there so they can, you know what I'm saying, start reproducing, okay? So let's go ahead and check out the babies over here. The quail. Now y'all about what, 4 weeks old? So yes, the quail is doing swell. The quail is doing swell. Now I went ahead and dismantled this here bed right here. Before we even get on, while we're talking about the quail, let's go ahead and show y'all something. Okay, so we almost done with this. We waiting on the bottom PVC so the quail don't get bubble feet. So that's the reason why we did PVC, but this stuff is so expensive, we end up having to do a special order. So we waiting to get the bottom part of it finished so we can go ahead and transition them over. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it 100 with you. The last batch of quail did not do too swell, okay? We got 3 of them out of there. One of them died, and so we got 2, okay, out of the 19. Now, we called the people that sold us the eggs. They basically said that because it's so muggy here in Florida already, we don't need as much humidity. And so we pretty much kind of drowned the quails out with this last batch. And so we thought we was doing basically, the same thing we did with the first batch, but it probably is the reason why we had only a 50% hatch rate with that. So like I said, we're going to keep on going with this thing. We got another set of eggs coming in, and we're going to hatch us another round. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into this bed right here, because we got to go ahead and we're going to keep these collards over here, but I'm going to go ahead and figure out what we're going to plant later. So here we go. This bed right here, remember, it was all our brassicas and stuff. Got some weeds over here, but the collards done turned into a whole bouquet. And yeah, so we're gonna get this here bed together real quick, okay? So yes, here we go, moving right along here. Over here to these here beds is over here, okay? So yeah, before we even get on those, we got our sour sop here. Go ahead and get you a sour sop, because you can make these into some nice tea. My mama really loves this when she comes down. I hate that the other plant had died, that's why I had to go get another one. Here we go. Yeah, so some more collards over here. Remember, we planted those last year. Also, our soft neck garlic down here as well. As you can see, the cataracts done took over the whole thing. Okay, I'm gonna pull those broccolis back there because they look like they doing something funny. Okay, and then down here we got our new pineapple that we had planted. Still waiting on the comfrey to come up over here, but it takes about 21 days. And then also Miss Calendula, she's a little slow sprout too. Okay, so we're gonna see what's happening with them girls. But moving right along here, we got our Florida Glow peach tree, and it has not started producing any kind of fruition, but the fact that she was just a stick and she has grown into this, you know what I'm saying, I'm very much so pleased. Here we go, we got our fig tree here, and we already got some figs on here. Okay, it's our little orchard over here. Okay, also this is our pear tree here, our red pear tree. Now she has some aphids on here, and so Delvin took the water hose and pretty much sprayed them off, and so now we don't see any more ants on her. All right, moving right along. Yeah. So we got our other fig tree here, and as you can see, it already got plenty of figs on here. Plenty of figs. So yes. And then over here with our golden Dorset apple tree. She taller than me now. Taller than me. Also our other fig tree here. We got plenty of figs that's about to be needing harvested out here. And then we got us, of course, a voluntary tomato plant that's already starting to fruit. So we might just leave that for the neighbors. Also, we got our Pawnee pecan, which is good for like cakes and desserts and stuff, and roasting. Also, we got our papaya over here. Now, Miss Papaya, she ain't been giving us no papaya. And then, of course, the mother, Miss Moringa, over in the corner there. And then this is some other little trees. It's also our memorial for our old dog Kingston over here. Also, our sweet potatoes, they ready to be cut off into some slips. Okay, but let's go ahead and get into this here bed here. So here we go right here. We got our corn back here. Now the corn, they've been getting shorter and shorter every year. I don't know what's happening with the girl, but we already got some that's trying to produce some corn out here. So I'm not upset. I'm just upset that they ain't coming past my kneecap, okay? They ain't even coming past my hip. So that's why I'm a little bit upset about the corn, you know what I'm saying? She ain't all tall and strong like she needs to be, okay? Here we go. We got our cantaloupe here, and as you can see, it's doing exactly what I wanted to do, which is to trellis off to the side. And also, we have our, what is this? Crimson Sweet here. Both of those, they're starting to take off. And also, Miss Jubilee over here. And then I want you all to check out the onions. Now, some of these are bulbing better than others. And so I'm gonna probably add some fertilizer to these to give them a little jolt, okay? But as you can see, everything is looking swell, okay? So I'm very excited about that right now, okay? Because why, you know what I'm saying? We planted these beds together, and so y'all get a chance to finally see these things, you know what I'm saying, they full, you know what I'm saying, essence, okay? All right, back over here with more fruit trees, okay, and bushes. Bow. So here we go. We got our plum tree here. Now, we thought this girl was dead, and technically she was. That's what we got from the store. But she came up, you know what I'm saying, like a phoenix in the sun down here, and she done turned into a whole tree. Also, our Java banana. Now, here we go down here. We got some pups that are starting to come in. Now, the pups are going to be taken out. I'm destroying the pups because why? I want this main stalk to come through. And if the pups come through, they'll start focusing on the pups, and all the energy will go, you know what I'm saying, to those instead of the main stalk, and we won't get no bananas. Same thing that happened to those over there. So we're trying to do better this go round, okay? Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and destroy those. Y'all got a chance to see that, and so hopefully this one will go ahead and be, you know what I'm saying, tall and strong and give us some good old bananas. We got our mulberry here. Now Miss Mulberry, she done got as tall as me. Now it's about to be a situation over here because Miss Crepe Myrtle, as you can see, she hovering over my head, and I'm crouching tiger, hidden dragon. But yeah, we haven't got any kind of berries from the mulberry tree here. She's supposed to be dwarf, but child, I thought dwarf was 4 feet. Anywho, we got our climbing rose bush here, and she has not produced any because we got all these spent roses. Probably need to deadhead these so we can get some more production. But yeah, anywho, moving along here, we got our, what is this? What is this growing out of here? Something is growing out of here. And this is, I think, lemon balm. So yeah, let's get that out of there. Anywho, we got us some blueberries. Yes. Our blueberries are turning blue. We got some blueberries and some cherries. Yeah. So yes, definitely excited about that right there. So all of our blueberries are pretty much doing pretty good. Hope I ain't walking into no spider webs. These don't have any fruit on it because I just pruned these, remember? So next year, we hoping that we get something out of these girls over here. All right. So yes, the blueberries is doing swell. Let me not get smacked in the face by Miss Sylvester here. Let's go ahead and check out this here 6x3 bed that, you know what I'm saying, we did in the last video. So as you can see, oh my God, the pole beans are definitely poling. We got radish down here that needs to be plucked and pulled and snatched. Our bok choy, child, she done came through and done produced and went to seed all within like 3 weeks. So that's, you know, interesting, but yeah. Let's go ahead and curl her up through there so she can find her way up. And then over here, we got our black eyed peas that's coming up that we planted together. And also, we got some more Merlin. Okay. And as you can see, the snapdragons. Yes, you gotta have you some pollinators around, okay? Don't ever stray away from the pollinators because that's what's gonna have your garden doing the things. Let's come on around 360. All right, over here we got our garbanzo beans here. Garbanzo beans, chickpeas, whatever you want to call them. They're right here, okay, with a little nasturtium in the corner. So hopefully she pushes through. And then over here we got our Gold Rush and our Big Kahuna bush beans alongside with our Merlin. And then down here somewhere we got our San Marzano tomato that's been overshadowed by everything. So this bed right here, for it to been planted about 3 weeks ago, it don't even look like it. It don't even look like it. So let's move right along over here. We got some voluntary things, because like I said, with your compost, when you're doing at-home composting, you ain't no telling what you're going to get, okay? So you get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and that's what we got over here in this here bed right here. This little bag is supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, something, but as you can see, a tomato plant emerged, and we ain't gonna deny, look, I'm a stuttering child, we ain't gonna deny nature. So we got some holes on here that lets me know that there may be a leaf-footed bug over here. Not a leaf-footed, but a hornworm. And so I need to be on the lookout. But we got a little bit of lemon balm growing down here. Also a hibiscus roselle plant growing in that bag. So like I said, compost will get you everything. So I would say this is like a little compost bag here. And we're going to go ahead and let her keep on growing because why? Yeah. Wow, celery is doing swell. Also, remember what I told y'all about the bananas over there? The bananas, they will keep producing pups and then you won't ever get no bananas. So yeah. And then right here we got another arbequina olive tree. Also our double-headed pineapple out here, it's a pole there. Also, we need to trim these girls up. Now, these right here aren't as sweet as the everbearing over there. So these little pastry pineapples, not pineapples, but strawberries, they're not as sweet as the everbearing strawberries over here. So that's just a little FYI if you out there seeing, you know what I'm saying, the different varieties of strawberries, okay? Here we go. Let's go ahead and move over here to this bed that we have not talked about in a while that we planted last year, and she finally trying to produce some squash and stuff over here in the corner. Wow, over here. Remember this bed that we just did a little this, a little that, just planted some random everything, and she's still going from last year. Even this here squash plant. Now it was it's a couple squash on there. Finally, it only took us 6 months. And so Delvin went ahead and buried the back roots back there. So in case we have some squash vine borers, it can go ahead and start producing some more. And I think that's what helped bring this thing back to life, okay? So I think he did a really good job with that. Also, our onion back there, remember that's a whole onion, some carrots over there. Some of the bush beans are still going up here. Also, we got our curled kale that we moved out of the way to make way for the new quail pen. And then I'll show y'all something over here. Y'all remember this here that we planted last year, the grapevine trellis over here, you know what I'm saying? Did a little bistro area. Bow. And look at the grapes. She all the way up in the pine tree, done attached to the pine tree. So this is our Catawba grapes over here. And then over here we got our ladyfinger seedless grapes. And I'm gonna show y'all kinda what we got going on right here. We actually got us a nice little cluster. Okay, and we got us some dill growing there. Also some more soft neck garlic. I need to pull those beans back there. Hold on. Let me walk on around him. And yeah, so let's show y'all. We gotta go ahead and get this going here. Pull these. And then also we got some more onions growing down there. But I would say so that these grapevines is definitely taking off. So yes. Also, it's some potatoes down in that one down there. So yes, we're gonna go ahead and pull some of those jokers too. So like I said, we got a lot to harvest out here. It's a lot to make way for. But while we over here in this here corner, we went on ahead and moved Miss Midnight Snack and also Mr. Stripey. And they over here in the back corner so they can get some shade and continue to produce. Over here Miss Rosemary. Hopefully you can protect the girl. Also, we got to get some of these peppers off of here. And then lavender is there. And then we got kale growing here. Also, we got macaroni, giant macaroni peppers here. I don't know why she started leaning to the side, okay, but she got a crook in her neck. And then we got us some banana peppers down here. Also, we got some colossal habanero peppers, as you can see. Just habanero down boots, and that's just there. They ain't even counting this whole situation here, okay? Also, we got lemongrass that we planted from seed. We got some more Cajun bell peppers over here that's over there in the salsa bed. Also, we got some more banana peppers. I think these are the hots. Some shishito peppers here. They need to be staked up. And then we got us some basil that, like I said, she need to be pulled. Some more thyme there. Some more bell peppers over here. As you can see. Anaheim peppers. Got those onions around here so they can go ahead and, interplant. And I want to talk about that real quick. Interplanting. Don't ever be afraid to interplant your garden because it's going to definitely help out the ecosystem. I feel like that's the reason why a lot of pests haven't really been attacking the main part of the gardens, because we have a lot of things around like onions, garlic, radishes, things like that help repel different insects. And so that's definitely helping the ecosystem out here, okay? Look at Delvin over there. Already doing a harvest of those random cherry tomatoes. So yes, like I said, back to the whole tour here. But like I said, don't be afraid to interplant because it's definitely going to help out the ecosystem. I'm going to show y'all in a second what I'm talking about having different things around your garden to be able to trap different bugs so they don't attack your fruit and stuff, okay? But let's keep on going here. All right here. These are our Scotch bonnets, okay? Look at that. We got us some Scotch bonnets. Y'all Jamaicans, okay? Any Jamaicans in the building? Y'all need to go ahead, you know what I'm saying, and give us one of them old jerk recipes, okay? Something authentic, okay? Something your mama made, your grandmama made. Anywho, we got some Swiss chard here, and we already got us some okra coming in, okay? Some okra. All right, here we go. Butterfly bush. Like I said, all part of the ecosystem. You want to have your pollinators. Also, we have us some lantana out here. And I think lantana can be used as medicinal. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but lantana, she been thriving, all discounted here. But like I said, we already got us some okra, baby. Look at that. Okra coming through. More okra down here, but she ain't pushing through just yet. I think we got a little something there, but she a little baby. Here's our ghost peppers down here. We got us a ghost pepper. It's a lot of hot peppers out here. All right. More Anaheim peppers. We're going to pluck these girls. Okay. Miss Chrysanthemum. Okay. She done came out early. I thought you was supposed to be for the fall, but you came out for the spring. More Scotch bonnets from last year. Keep your peppers because they are definitely perennial. And you can get more than enough years out of your pepper harvest, okay? Over here, we got some milkweed. Now, if you see these little black and red bugs on your milkweed, don't be alarmed. They just milkweed bugs. They ain't gonna do too much, okay? They ain't gonna do too much. Also, our little mini bell peppers here, you know, they ain't doing too swell, so I need to figure out some. I think I'm gonna plant some in a whole 20-gallon bag so we can get us a nice harvest. Also, we got our daisies here. This was discounted and she's taking over, okay? Also, some oregano down here. Be careful with your oregano because she will self-seed in different pots, as you can see. She will self-seed in different pots, self-plant itself. Also, cayenne pepper. We got cayenne. And then we got us some orange bell peppers over here. And we got to get her into the sunlight. And then back over here, look at our jalapenos. Now, we've been eating these and our different stuff, so that's why there ain't that many on here. So keep plucking so you can get some more. Also, our poblano. Now, she, like I said, I don't know what's going on with this girl, but she's still trying to push through, okay? Because she got some new blooms and stuff up here. So yeah, let your plants push through. Don't do too much and you'll be all right. Lemon balm. Be careful with lemon balm. Lemon balm will self-seed everywhere. It's a great pollinator and good for tea and medicinal purposes. But this mother plant right here has produced all of these plants over here. Okay? This one mother plant right here has produced all of these plants right here. So be careful when you see lemon balm. Listen, it's only 10 o'clock this morning. I don't even think it's 10 o'clock. Okay, the market hasn't even opened for the stock exchange, and it is already hot out here, and I'm sweating. Okay, sweating. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get into this bed right here. All right, these here onions, I think they about ready to be done. Waiting on them to lean over. Like I said, while you out here, don't be afraid to go ahead and pick the weeds out your garden. We got some volunteer tomato plants. We got us a bell pepper in the back here. They producing little bell peppers. I want some big ones though. So I think this bed right here is just simply overcrowded because tomatoes, they do a lot of rooting out, and it's about 6 or 7 tomato plants in here. Okay. Also, this right here, we're gonna sift through this and get all the old leaves out, and then that way we can keep making way for the new leaves. But this is our romaine and stuff, and this stuff is still going, so I think we just probably gonna pull it and grow some more. But because some of it's been a little bitter. So yeah, but y'all know we planted this last year, child, and she's still going. So you know, hey, I always got you some salad out here. Some shallots over here that we got. Also, our other discounted plant, I forgot what these called, Cleoris, yeah. Also, we got some verbena here. Also, some buttercup tropical plant. We also got us some roselle that's coming in, hibiscus plant, okay? So, yes, high blood pressure gonna be down, okay? High blood pressure down. And that's one reason why you want to have your garden as well, is because whenever you have your garden, you can be able to put different things out there to be able to regulate a lot of the different medicines or different health issues that you have. If you didn't know, a lot of the drugs that we take, they are derivatives of certain plants that we can grow right out here in our garden. And so that's one of the reasons why you want to go ahead and be, you know what I'm saying, starting you a garden, especially in the midst of this whole, you know what I'm saying, recession / depression. Here we go right here. All right, so we got our pomegranate that's coming up. Also, we got our tomato plant that Delvin, I guess it self-seeded itself and we let it go. All right, and then I forgot what this is called. Crossandra, yeah. And then also we got our Lovera. Now I'm gonna show y'all something. Y'all want to see what leaf-footed bugs are. They're on our Merlin, and you don't want these jokers on there. And I'm gonna show you where the mothers is, okay? Now somehow these jokers done made its way over here, and we don't want these on here. And y'all already know what we're gonna do to these girls. We're gonna give these a nice little soapy bath, okay, with some Castile soap to get these girls off of here, and they ain't gonna know what hit them. I don't know if these are, I think these are squash bugs, okay? These are squash bugs. I'm gonna show y'all the leaf-footed bugs, okay, because there's a slight difference. The leaf-footed bugs have a longer back leg and everything. The squash bugs look like this right here, Okay, so if you want to get rid of squash bugs, get you some Castile soap, because it's harmless to your garden, and you can get these jokers out of here. Okay, but as you can see, we got us some Merlin. We ain't gonna let them monkeys steal the show. Get them off of there, and we're gonna have us some more. Okay, so here we go right here. Now, leaf-footed bugs. This is our sunflower. Now, remember I told y'all about trap crops. Our sunflower, this is a leaf-footed bug. As you can see how the legs are and everything on these. I'm not trying to scare them off because I don't want to lose these jokers in the garden. I like to know where they are. But yeah, they over here in this wildflower garden bed that we got. And we done already harvested some cucumbers off here. But you don't want those in your garden because they will pierce little holes in your fruit and suck the nutrients and the juice out, and then you just have this little shriveled up little prune. So that's the reason why you don't want those jokers in your garden, okay? And it's very good to inspect your garden, especially early in the morning, because these girls be out here early, hungry, okay? So yes, let's go ahead and keep going over here down this here alley. All right, we got us some more midnight snacks over here. We got us some more tomatoes over here. Now these are about done, so they about spent. I'm trying to get the last little push off of them. I ain't gonna lie to you. And so we're gonna get what we can, like this one today and a couple of those back there. But yeah, and then here we go. It's about time to harvest 3 of these canes here. This one, and this one. So in the upcoming videos, we going to, I guess I need to wait for this joker to go ahead and, you know, do his thing and hatch a butterfly before I take her down, okay? But as you can see, we got new babies, so we got to make the way for the new babies so they can be tall and strong. So yes, like I said, I'm out here sweating to give y'all a better idea what those leaf-footed bugs look like. Boom, they right there. And they see me, so they getting scared. But I ain't ready to get y'all girls yet. But like I said, soapy water. With them, you probably have to hand grab them. But just note that they do fly. Okay? They do fly. So if you think that you're just gonna be slow walking it, go ahead, you have to have quick hands and quick fingers because they will fly off and find somewhere else to go and hide for you for another week, lay some more babies somewhere else, and boom, that's that right there. Go ahead and look at Boo Thing, yes. Say hey, Delvin.
What's going on, y'all?
He's so focused on all these down here.
This overgrowth of tomatoes that we didn't plant.
So he been diligently getting baskets and baskets of tomatoes while I'm over here walking around the garden. Okay. Look at that. That's what I say. You know, that's what I say. Go ahead and let your little randoms grow, because why? You don't never know when you can be able to tap into that source whenever your other ones start to die off. Yeah. So here we go. Chad, I had to go get something to drink. I was trying to get the white mouth out here, Chad, because it's a little hot. You know what I'm saying? A little dehydrated. So a lot of talking, and yeah, we almost done with this thing. Okay, but not really, okay? So here we go right here. We on our next little row. Our original garden bed had all started. So when y'all see the blue here in the middle, this is how small the garden started. And it started with this here 8 bed right here, this 8 garden grow bag here, you know what I'm saying? It's like a 4x2 or something like that right there, or 4x3. But yeah, this is how it all started out here. But right here, we got our, what is this? Our lemon tree. And then over here, we got our lime tree. And then we got our sun sugar tomatoes, but you know, it's only a few on here. We're gonna get those jokers off here. But yeah, she looking a little scrawny. I don't know what's happening. Here we go. We got this here tomato plant. Now, I didn't want to get rid of this one. Even though she was looking real shaggy, she still had 3 or 4 tomatoes on here, as you can see. As you can see. So I didn't want to get rid of this until we was able to harvest these girls down here. So now they're able to be harvested, so I can be able to pull her later. All this here deal here, we're gonna have to get so we can harvest the seed, because I don't want deal growing everywhere. As you can see, it's thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of seeds, okay? And so yeah, we don't want Miss Deal everywhere. Here we go. Let's keep going here. I'm getting poked, I'm getting snatched, I'm getting, look at this. We gotta, like I say, we gotta do some garden maintenance while we out here, because the girls, things will be growing everywhere. All right, here we go. Our other tomato plants here. All right, they about done for. These are the originals. And then we got our lemon boys over here. Also, we got some more onions down there. And then we got some beefsteak tomatoes over here. So like I say, these are still pushing through. The beefsteaks, I have no doubt that we could probably keep, but the other ones, I think the sun is getting to them. Okay, so here we go. We got more okra growing over here as well. And then we have us some cowhorn peppers right here that's coming through. And then over here, we have more carrots. We got some carrots, and then we got our turnips in the back there. Okay, so I wanted to grow some more root crops so we can be able to, you know what I'm saying, roast them and things. Okay, and then over here, remember the bush beans that we planted last year on the pole? I mean, not the bush beans, but the pole beans. They still producing over here. So that's what I say. Let your stuff grow, because a lot of things will continue to grow. Okay, so boom, that's that right there. Here we go. We got our, what are these? Black cherry tomatoes. And we got some in the back there. I don't know if y'all can see at the camera, but y'all can see we got clusters there. Also, we got our Texas sage here. And here is our blackberry trellis. Yes, baby. Look at her. And then even the raspberry decided to come back. This thing was dead right here in this 5-gallon bucket. And then boom, all of a sudden we started seeing some new growth, much like the plum tree over there. So don't ever count your trees and stuff out. Don't ever count them out. But yeah, our blackberry trellis, blackberries galore. And we're gonna get these jokers off here too today. Blackberries galore. And these are in 15-gallon bags. Yes. 15-gallon bags. So our blackberry trellis is doing great over here. And it's already starting to be picked, and they taste good and sweet. Okay, in case you was wondering. They taste real good and they taste real sweet, in case you was wondering. Okay, so here we go right here. Our last but not least row, okay? Our herb row right here. So bye. We got us some sage here. Also, we got us some, I think this is more lemon balm here. Also, we got us some more thyme, some oregano that's starting to flower, because we've been picking up various ones. Also, Miss Rosemary down here. Miss Cilantro with the coriander on the top, okay? Because she done went to seed. Okay, and also, we got our eggplants. Now, we ain't even see these jokers down here. But yeah, eggplants coming through. Also, Miss Blanket Flower that was discounted. And like I said, this is our urban suburban homestead. Listen, that was a lot to talk about. I ain't gonna even sit there and hold you to the point when I was getting white in the mouth, okay? You know what I'm saying? That means it's time to go get some water so I can go ahead and help Delvin finish this here harvest. We're gonna come back with a whole another video. So just know that, you know what I'm saying? We'll be back later, okay? Just know that we love you all, love you all. If you had not, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We will talk to you all later. Bye.